Hey guys, happy Friday. Today is Friday, June 28th. Again, the last Friday of June. Who could believe it? Getting super excited for July and July 4th. Everybody's going to kick off their weekends. You can't imagine the smells that are going on right here, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm with my friend Chris Burnam. He's here with the House of Chickn. He's got the Gert Garments on. We're going to talk about the vegan movement, the black vegan movement. We've got a lot to talk about. So let us know you can hear us or see us. We already got a thumbs up. He's made some delicious food, and it's sitting in front of me, and my mouth is watering, and it smells amazing.
Gotta keep them focused.
Gotta keep me focused. I'm going to look this way. So welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you,
Thanks
man.
for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So I just want to get to it. Let's talk about a little bit of your background, because we have so much to talk about where you're at now.
Okay.
But people always love to know the journey. They want to know what's going on. How did you get here? I want to know how a black man became a vegan, right? Because that's why you have hashtag BLVegan.
Blegan. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about you.
So, born and raised in Chicago, black household where soul food was really important. Not only important to just having the right foods or good foods, but important to my community, our story, everything about that. So, fast forward to me getting to Orlando and loving everything about food. So my wife and I, we would do a thing called the Daniel fast every year. So basically, we've never heard of it, but Daniel fast, it's where you stop eating meat, stop eating anything animal byproduct.
It's like 30 days. It's tied to the book of Daniel.
You got it.
Yes, absolutely.
You got it, Ted. And so we would do it, and every single year, I'd be like, okay, when I'm done with the fast, I'm going to Publix, I'm going to get a bag of chicken, and I want the breasts, and I want to eat it, and I want the Hawaiian bread, and I want to get some hot sauce, throw on like a tank top, and like everybody leave me alone. So every year we would do the same thing. I would get the chicken and the hot sauce and the Hawaiian bread and the iced tea. So that's what I would do. And so one year, I actually got the whole spread, had a big breast, and I was like, I'm gonna kill this right now. I bit into it, and it was raw.
Oh.
It was straight up raw.
Wow.
Shout out to Publix, but not shout out on this moment. So it was
not
raw.
on this breast.
Oh my God, and the breast too? I was like, yes. Anyway, because the dad always gets the big piece.
Right.
And so the breast was raw, and me being a creative, I'm so visual. So everything, as soon as I looked at that, it was just raw, and I'm like, something's wrong. Something's not right. Why can't I just go past it being raw and continue to eat it? And so I was like, all right, let me just do some research on veganism and chicken and what is the government putting in chicken. And I started to do so much research. I'm a research junkie, so I started to do all kind of research. And I started to see, the things they were putting in meat and how it's impacting my community, how it's impacting people of color. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna dead meat right now. But I didn't kill meat altogether. I said,
what did your wife and kids think about that?
So listen, she's Puerto Rican and I'm black, so people are like, you're gonna stop eating what? Wait, we're not gonna have chicken or chuletas or anything of that nature? And we're like, no, we're not doing anything. And so, but I said, if I can catch it and kill it, then I can actually eat it. So what I started to do was I said, okay, I can catch a fish, I can catch a crab, I can catch a shrimp, I can do things of that nature. So that's exactly what I do. So I became a pescatarian. 10 years pescatarian, lovely. And then about 2.5 years ago, I just decided, you know what? I see what's happening in our oceans. I see what's happening with our fish. I see what's happening everything. I'm just gonna dead everything, and I'm just gonna be a straight up vegan. Our family looked at us like we were crazy, like we were some part of some cult. They're like, just blink twice if you're okay. And they were just not having it. And I started to jump into, I've always cooked, I've always loved to create, and that's how I got into cooking right now. So it's been a really long, I always say it's my beautiful, imperfect, perfect journey.
I love the story of that, though, because food is so important for all of us.
Yes,
I grew up Italian, so we've got all the Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
So culturally, their food brings families together.
Mm-hmm.
You come together for a meal. You break bread. I mean, there's so many amazing things that you get to do.
Sunday meals, everybody together.
Meals.
Yeah,
but like we were talking earlier, we have mutual friends, Nikki, Larry Rumbau, Nikki Namdar. Shout out to all you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the old days, I was telling stories about how Larry's been a vegan for 30 plus years, probably his whole life. and his house used to smell of that awful, terrible fake meat. I don't even know what it's called. I don't want to say it out loud because I'm afraid it'll come back.
Feet. Put fake meat together, it says feet. Ooh, that's nasty. Ooh.
But it's come so far.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the stuff in the news with the Impossible Burger, which I mean, if you've missed that, you've definitely missed the news in the past couple of months.
Yeah.
The Impossible Burger that Burger King sells and other places sell, that is a plant-based burger that is apparently out of this world insane.
Delicious.
But we didn't have those choices even 10 years ago.
Yeah, you could even say like 5 years ago, really, yeah.
It's crazy. And then all of these other stores started popping up, like Trader Joe's has things, and Fresh Market, and Whole Foods, and you can really, really dive in if that's what you want to do. I think a lot of people are afraid of giving up flavor. They don't want to give up flavor. They're afraid that it's going to taste fake. It's going to taste chemically. It's not going to have that taste that I'm used to. And so you figured out a way, and the industry too, has figured out a way to circumvent that, to overcome that. So what did you do first? Because in front of us, we have, as you saw, it was House of Chickn, and I want to get to what that means and how we got there. But you have a chicken sandwich here, a slider in front of us. And if you could see it, and you will in a little bit, it looks like a chicken breast, a chicken thing that you would see on a regular slider, chicken sandwich,
but not raw.
So how did you come up with House of Chickn?
So I jumped into it. So when I became vegan, I was like, I want to test every brand, everything that is vegan. I tested, Gardein. I mean, every brand. I just jumped into it, and it came to, I was like, you know what? These brands are pretty dope. But what if I started to make my own chili? I said, I love making chili. It's pretty easy. Beans, some vegan crumbles, and put it all together. And so I started making chili. And then the chili got dope. And I was working at corporate America. Chili was dope. People were like, yo, I like this. It really tastes just like meat. And then I said, well, what if I make sausage? Start to make sausage. People were like, okay, it's pretty dope. And I started to make steak and all these different things. And I started to really experiment with different things. And then I hit upon chicken. And, keep it real. Black folks like some chicken. Well, everybody likes chicken. But
it smells so good. I can't even tell you.
I'm trying to focus.
It looks so good. I'm focusing.
So I started to really know that Impossible is doing well. Beyond Meat was killing it. So I was like, okay, the next step, the next evolution is going to be chicken. Let me focus on a product that I know people would have the same taste, texture, and flavor of chicken, but without the environmental impact, without the health impact, and without hurting animals. So I said, if I can do this, if I can make something that I know people will love, especially people of color and people who love chicken, if I can make that where they can love it, I know that it's something that we can do big with.
And what was that process like? So, and explain to us, because we talk about not research. So when somebody says it's a plant-based, so my vision, of course, is you go out in the garden, you grab a whole bunch of weeds, and you're throwing it all together, and I have no idea how you make a chicken patty. How does that work? What is that like from a creative perspective?
So, excuse me. So people use either soy or they use a vital wheat, gluten. So when they say plant-based, it may be a flour base coming from, something different of that nature, but it's all from plants. And so you kind of figure out bringing all these recipes together, how to get that same vibe, because, Ted's never had my food before. So I have to make sure that every time I have a newbie or a virgin eating my food, it has to be right.
A long time since we've used that word here.
I know, man. Ooh, Lord have mercy.
Anyway.
So I have to make sure it's right. And so I would dig into the recipes, and I would take recipes from here and there, and I just started to figure out what can I do to make this the best as possible. So like I said, some people use soy, some people use they use vital wheat gluten, some people use pea protein. There's a lot of different things that you can use that are plant-based, that are nothing to do with animals. They do not touch animals whatsoever, and that's exactly what we have here. So it was a long journey, and my wife actually came up with the name House of Chickn. I don't remember it, but she said she did. But I don't remember.
She wouldn't lie.
She wouldn't lie. You saw her, man. She's mad sweet. But I'm just saying, I don't remember. But I think I'll give her props. Much love, babe, for House of Chickn. And we just knew we wanted it to be something that we stood for, kind of standing out on our own, taking a leap of faith. Like I said, I was working in corporate America. she supported me, and this is exactly where we are, and we're focused on making the best product. And I always say, no harm, no foul. FOW.
Oh my God, I love that. That's awesome.
No harm,
No, we're gonna have to hashtag that one.
Yes,
later.
sir, let's do it.
All right, so talk about how you then. Okay, so you finally come up with a recipe of what's good for you. What tastes good. It has to taste good for you. And I know that you're going to be the best judge and probably the worst critic of the food. So you finally come up with it. You decide, all right, this is great. Right. Then you have to figure out, and we'll show you in a minute. Then you have to figure out the accoutrements, things that go around it, because the whole point is for you not to just have a vegan chicken sandwich. It's everything on the plate to be plant-based, like the whole experience. So you have to come up with all of the other things around there. How did you come up with that? What were some of the experimental stuff? Did the kids get to taste it? And did they go, Dad, you're insane, this is terrible? Because I would imagine it's like any kind of cooking. When I don't cook or grill or really know how to light a grill, but I know that when Stacy cooks, she goes through things, she figures out what the recipe is. It takes some time sometimes.
Yeah, so it was all about my little group. My family was my biggest focus group, and so they were tough on me. There were some times where I brought some things to them, and they were just like, "What is this? This is garbage." And I wanted that. I wanted that authentic, right feedback. And I look at people's eyes, and I want to see how they do it. And a friend of mine who I used to work with, Jen Chandy, she's big in the vegan community. Shout out to Jen. JC, what up, girl? She loved what I did, and she said, you know what, why don't you go out and start doing pop-ups? And I started doing pop-ups at places like District Mills, and I just started doing different places, and it wasn't perfect at first, Ted, but I knew that I had to put it out there to see what people thought. Sure. The family got to a point where they were like, okay, this is good, this is dope, and then that was the next scary step was, okay, now I need to put it out to other vegans. And then the next step that was even worse was non-vegans, because I know people will be judgmental, so I needed to make it as perfect as possible. So I kept working on it. It's only been about 2 years, but if you know me, you know I'm super competitive, I'm super focused, I'm super energetic, and I want things to be right. So I just looked at everyone else's like, okay, if it was a regular chicken slider, how can I make my slider as dope and tasty, actually even better, because I knew I had to.
Well, because like a non-vegan like me is going in already judging it. I'm already like, this is going to taste like cardboard.
You're thinking about old Larry back in the day when he was giving that garbage.
Real bad.
Yeah.
And so when we go in to taste something, that's what, for me, for a non-vegan, was surprising about the Impossible Burger. Because for it to be mass-produced like that and accepted at a place that's called Burger King, you know it has to be amazing.
Yeah.
And so, but I love the progress on that, because I think we're all trying to figure out how to eat healthier. We're all trying to figure out, and then it's very hard to figure out the difference for a lot of us between vegan and vegetarian. Are you dairy, non-dairy? Are you pescatarian?
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredibly. Are you raw? Like, raw is a whole nother movement. Am I raw? Not right now. But I think it's so important for us to be able to experiment with it.
Yeah.
And so the great thing about having you on the show, I wish there was smell-o-vision, because the smell is amazing. And we're going to show you. But the thing is the taste. It's the taste. And I have not tasted this.
Not.
And I'm very excited
I didn't even sample
to
it all,
taste
guys.
it, because I will 100% be honest, because I'll get called on the carpet if I'm not. And I would always want to be that way, because I want this to be successful for you. Before we show them the platter and before we get into that, what's the long range goal for House of Chickn?
So, Beyond Meat and Impossible, they're pretty much my North Star. I always tell people, if you want to be successful in life, find a North Star. Like, success leaves clues. So find somebody who's done it like you want to do it, at the level that you want to do it, and just follow them. The universe will actually guide you and dictate the things that you need to do. So those are the places that I want to go. Impossible, Beyond. We want to get this where you can go into your local KFC, you go to your local TGI Fridays, you go into your local Citrus Club, wherever you're going to go, you can have House of Chickn, and you can say, you know what, I'm either vegan, I'm vegetarian, or right now I'm trying to slim down. I'm trying to take my cholesterol down. Let me order that House of Chicken slider or burger, and that's exactly where we want to go. So we have people like John Sally looking at, tasting our food. Tyson Gay, who's an Olympic athlete. Philip Lawrence, who's a Grammy Award winner. So we have some people who are really looking into it and seeing the next step. But I want to get it into your local stores. I want to get it to the restaurants. I want to get it to people that they can actually enjoy it on the day-to-day basis. And what's great about this chicken is right now we have two that's fried. We have one that's actually like a shredded barbecue. But this is something, 4th of July is coming up, you can actually put it on the grill. If you go to me on Instagram, you can see it. I put it on the grill.
You can put it on the grill?
You can put it on the grill, Ted. And you can put it on the grill, and it tastes exactly like chicken. And that's what we're trying to do, have a few different versions and just get it out there to the masses. And that's where we want to go, because we know that this is where the mainstream is going. So we would kind of want to circumvent that and not beat them, but meet them where they're at and have everybody taste this.
I love it. All right, so show them what we have.
Y'all ready?
I mean, look at that. And they can see that really well. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at that, I would have just thought that's a plate of giant, beautiful, wonderful chicken sliders.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it's just chicken with no E.
Chicken with no E, yeah, exactly. So I'll go left,
You got you. You point. They're fine.
This one is the buffalo. We have a nice little slaw on top. All the sauces we make from scratch. It's buffalo. This one is the pulled chicken, which is with barbecue chicken, and I have our fresh made from scratch macaroni and cheese on there, which is baked macaroni that we throw it on there. And this one is a jerk chicken with a mango salsa on top. So everything that you would want in a regular time where you're going to chill with your peoples and watching games or whatever you're doing, you can have it plant-based, y'all.
That's it.
No harm,
to me,
no
it's
foul.
just so funny because to see it, it's just so different than like. Obviously, we've talked about Ethos. Ethos to me, that's sort of the go-to place.
Right.
It's more it's the most mainstream to me.
Right.
Vegan restaurant in Central Florida. There's plenty of others. I love you all. If you want to invite me out, that's fine. But that's the one I've been to, and that's what I go to. I go to those places because I feel like I can order. I'm not judged.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's big.
Non-vegans.
Listen, keep it real.
We get super judged
keep
when
it
we
real.
go to a vegan place.
Listen, people know me. I keep it 100, man. It's
and that's okay.
Judgment is real.
And it's judgment on the other side too, because we're going to hate everything that's here. Why am I even here?
Yeah.
Some vegan friend of ours drug us here. There's got to be a better mix, but I think it's so cool that we're making that shift.
Yes.
The world, the universe, the market is making that shift.
Right.
And because people like you are bringing out things like House of Chicken, and you make your own stuff, you make everything homemade, we're getting the flavors that we were missing for so long that we could get with what we thought anyway, with a regular chicken sandwich,
exactly.
a regular buffalo chicken sandwich.
Exactly.
And so I love to try. All right, so
that's a good point though. They said made from scratch, 100% made from scratch. We don't we don't buy it or it's not processed. It's 100% made from scratch is what we do, guys. Awesome.
So before I begin to bite, tell me how people do you cater right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So we do a couple of things. We do weekly orders, so we'll have it on Instagram. I know you'll share it later, but we have it on Instagram where people order and they pick up weekly. We do catering. I've done catering for Booking.com. I've done for EA Sports. We've done for some pretty big places that we've done catering for. We'll do weddings, baby showers, the whole nine. And so those are the things, the ancillary things that we're doing, but to get the product into the market is where we're actually going. So looking for investors and things of that nature to take us to that next step.
I love it. We love small business here.
Small business.
The TED Show and TED's community. All right, so what should I try first? I'm going to be so messy because if you saw, it's messy.
It's messy, y'all. It's messy, but
I don't even know where I'm going to go with it. I'm going to grab this napkin underneath his water. And I'm going to use it. Because here's the thing. If the taste isn't there, then that's what he spent all of his time, his R&D, his love, and his passion. He wants, because he knows what's good. That's the best part.
I've been there, yeah.
He knows what's good and what tastes good, and so he's going to perfect it. If you can't tell already, I'm relatively sure he's a perfectionist about his stuff. So that's what you want.
If it gets to you guys, you know I've already beat myself up.
There it is. All
so
right, what am I going to try?
Try the buffalo.
Okay, I'm going to try buffalo first.
This is the buffalo, baby.
And I'm going to lift it, right?
Oh, let do his thing. I'm going to sit here and...
Let's see. Guys, all right, so the smell, the other thing I want to tell you is the smell is so good.
Because I promise you've never tried it before.
I have not, and I don't even know. So let me show you. So this is it. Doesn't that look delicious?
100% plant-based vegan.
All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm Citrus Club, I promise we're going to clean this all up. And I'm going to bite into it. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Listen for that crunch. The crunch is there.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Keeping it real, y'all. Keeping it real.
That is so oh my God, that's so delicious.
So some of your thoughts about it.
So here's the first thing I thought. First thing I thought is there's no way that that's fake. And by fake, I mean not chicken.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course. No, I'm not offended.
I mean there's no way that is, there's just no way that that's not a chicken patty that's been fried. That is so good.
See the second taste.
The flavor is amazing.
Thank you.
The texture is just what you would expect. That's the other thing. You never know when you go in for texture on anything vegan, in my opinion. It could be mushy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I know you guys are all working on that, but that's from a non-vegan.
Of course.
When I taste it, it's like, oh my God, it's mushy again. Mm-hmm. I can taste all the beans in it. That's what people think.
We like to hear that. We like to hear that.
You want to have that structure. It is. It's a big risk for him to have me test it live, Joshua.
Yeah,
right?
Joshua,
it's so good though, Josh.
And what's funny, Joshua, is that every time I get any influencer or somebody, I always have them taste it live. I never have them pre-taste it because I want to keep it real. If I believe in me, if I know what I'm doing, and my family loves me, and I know it's about my legacy, I'm ready to like throw it on the table, see what happens.
You would not, if you ordered that out and you didn't pay attention, and you would literally think you're getting chicken sliders on that. That tastes amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
All right, what am I tasting next?
Let's try this is a shredded barbecue. So we take the same actual the actual chicken, and before we fry it, we shred it up and we season it up and we put it, we grill it, and then we put our signature barbecue sauce on. It's like a sweet tangy barbecue sauce, and then we throw our mac and cheese on it, and we throw it on a Hawaiian bread, guys.
How does it
Hawaiian
have
bread,
mac and cheese on it? All right, so I'm gonna lift it and show it to you.
Thank you.
And so I don't know if you can see, but right here, you can sort of see the mac and cheese, which is right there. Try to get it out of there.
It's baked mac and cheese, guys. My mom would kill me if I didn't bake it.
Oh my God. It's a black thing. All right, so that's okay. I like it. All right, so this is different. This is not the same fried patty. It looks like this is like the pulled, so it's pulled chicken.
Mm-hmm.
How is that not chicken?
Guys, she's taking bites of this, like real bites, like from.
Well, I was not playing. I wanted to know. That is so good, Chris.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
God. There is nothing that you would ever think that's not chicken.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is, but it just doesn't have an E in it.
No.
And the mac and cheese is delicious.
It's totally understandable. We want it, like I said, I want to give it, and we do mac and cheese. When we do catering, we do mac and cheese. We do greens, we do yams. Coming up Thanksgiving, we do actual turkey. So we do a lot of things that are, I want people to have that same vibe. I want to have the same energy, the same feeling, because like Ted talked about it earlier, food is so conducive to moments. Whether there's weddings, funerals,
we remember
birthday.
Meals that are associated with times of our lives that are important.
Every single time. And that's what I want to do. I want to connect that with people because I love having that moment.
That is so good. That's so good. So people will ask me later, mac and cheese, is the cheese part also vegan?
The cheese is the key because obviously that would...
I would not know.
It would be dairy, so we want to make sure we make it from scratch. That's the key with us. We want to make sure everything is from scratch. We want to make sure that everything has that authentic flavor. And it's harder, but we want to make sure that we can give it to you guys the best.
Well, because you are being judged no matter what. Vegan, non-vegan community. Middle of the road.
Double.
Yeah, so you've got it from every angle,
Yes.
so I understand. Fantastic. All right, what's our third sandwich?
So this last one is a same fried patty, but we put a mango salsa on it, so that it's everything from scratch. So it's tomatoes, onion, green onions with a mango kind of chopped up in there, and it's jerk flavor sauce that we make from scratch too. So
you make, I want to reiterate that you make the sauces, you make the mango stuff that's on there,
everything from
the salsa,
scratch,
you make all of it from scratch because it has to be, because you can't make this and then throw something on it.
It doesn't meet the same vibe. No, because
so
people
you take
be
it
able to
very
taste
seriously, as I knew you would.
Thank
all
you,
right,
thank
so I'm
you.
gonna hold it up. These get messier as we go. Okay, so I want you to see the inside of that. I mean, look how delicious that looks.
So after you bite that, if you don't mind doing me a favor, like show them the side of the inside once you bite it.
Inside of the chicken once I bite it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Texture's key. He said, Did you guys
that sauce is so good.
Thank you. So you guys see that. Want the same taste, texture, and flavor of chicken without the harm. It's pretty simple.
So it's the difference of the two is the different things you put on them.
Right.
And it makes a completely different sandwich, of course. But you can taste the fresh salsa. Yeah, I'm making a mess as usual.
The base is the same, so we want to keep the base the same. Listen, keeping it 100. You guys, if you know Ted, you know Ted. He's keeping it real. I want to know.
You know, I've got RBF most days, and you know what that is. We'll look it up later. And I can't fake anything. Those are delicious. They're so good and flavorful, and I just think I'm eating a chicken sandwich.
And what's the key about this is once you eat this, you won't feel as heavy. You won't feel as heavy as if you were eating, chicken, because your body won't process it the same way. And so we're trying to get into that medium where we get people like someone like Ted who may say, you know what, 3 times out of the week, I'll eat vegan. Maybe not the whole time, but we try to make that conduit between someone not eating meat and eating meat. I want to be that in-between person so they can kind of, they kind of make that transition because, listen, I'm going to keep it real. Everyone's not going to be like kumbaya and like we're just going to be vegan as soon as I taste this. They may go back to the old habits because 20, 30 years being non-vegan, but I want to make sure that I'm that conduit to make it easier and easier and easier for them to become vegan.
Yeah, if you want to, as you're making progress toward it, and I think a lot of people are considering it, like they want to figure out a way to do it. I have friends, Jim and Beth Hobart, who had just posted how they're trying to transition meat out of their lives.
Okay.
We're all looking for something that's going to be healthier in the long run for us, less detrimental to our other species on the planet and our planet in general. There's so many things that we can address either way. So if you want to at least try something one day a week, let's say you did it one day a month, it's still one day a month that makes a difference. I can't stress that enough.
Meatless Monday makes a huge difference.
And that's what Beth and Jim, I think, are working on.
Yes. Beth and Jim, get at me, let me know.
There you go. I'll tag them later. So those were, honest to God, delicious.
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
The sauce, to me, is what separates them, and then the texture is really good. It's filling, and I don't feel like it's fake anything. I don't feel like I have an asparagus root coming out of the side of it. I'm telling you, that's what people think when they think plant-based.
Asparagus.
That's what people think when they think plant-based. They don't know what that means, and they think you've ground up a whole bunch of vegetables and you've made it into a patty, and now you're presenting it as this gorgeous thing.
We're going to take that over and change that whole vibe.
I think we need to work on that in order to educate other people, because that's what people think.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to share, of course, all of Chris's contact information, how you can learn more about House of Chicken, how you can learn more about the vegan movement, how you can utilize him to cater your next event. I mean, I'm telling you, it's delicious. When we go off the air, I'm going to take another bite of each of them because they're delicious. But I want you to engage it. Like, if you've thought about it, here's somebody to try it with.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to do it live on the show is so that you could see. I mean, I was praying. I didn't know the outcome. I could have hated it, guys.
I swear to you guys.
And you would have seen
y'all
it.
know me too. If you know me, if you're watching this, you know me, you know Burnam.
You would have seen it. It would have been real bad.
Yeah, man.
I would have been like, well, thanks, Chris, for being on the show. It's been a joy.
Camera would have fell down.
See you later.
Been like, what the hell happened?
But I want people to engage you, especially if they have questions. And he's available, and we'll share all his contact information. Any parting words of wisdom? Anything you want to share with them before we?
I always tell my daughters, make every room better than when you actually arrived. So whether you're picking up a piece of trash, whether you're telling somebody, I love you, whether you, hey man, you look great today, whether you're giving something more than you can take, be that person, man. Be that person. We can make a change in this world. Right now, things are friction, but I guarantee you there's way more love and dopeness out there than that other BS.
I like it. Very good. I love it. All right, you've been a joy to have on, my friend.
No harm,
Thank
no foul.
So much, so much. You were excellent.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll be back. We'll see you soon. I'm going to eat it. All right, my hands are really sticky from eating the sandwich. We love you guys. Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Peace out, man. No harm, no foul.